Welcome to the 8.9 Writing Equations and Inequalities lesson. First thing I'd like you to do is to work on the warm-ups. Go ahead and pause if you haven't done them already. Quickly do them, only spend about a minute on them, and then you can continue the video. If you've already done them, then you can go ahead and keep watching as I'll go over the answers. In the first example, number 1, I have the x already started for you. -1 is the number that's circled, so that's the number of interest in there. And then I have to decide x, the number shaded in, are they less than or are they greater than -1? Well, since the line goes to the left, x, the numbers I've shaded, are less than -1. In example 2, I have x, the number that's circled is -7, so I put -7. Then I can see that the numbers less than -7 are shaded in, and also -7 is shaded in, which means I have to do the less than or equal to inequality. So x is less than or equal to -7. And again, that's because it is a closed circle. It is filled in, so I have to put the equal to bar. In number 3, I have x to start. 6 is the number, so I'm going to put the 6. And I've shaded in the numbers that are greater than 6. X represents what's shaded in. I've also shaded in 6, so x is greater than or equal to 6. So that is how you do the warm-ups. Okay, let's move on to our lesson for today. First, I want to talk about the key concepts. Reminder that equations are mathematical statements that state that two expressions are equal. Phrases that'll let you know that it's an equation are equal to, total, equals, as same as. Inequalities are mathematical statements that two equations are not equal. Your key words here would be less than, greater than, at least, at most, fewer than, more than. Those key words are going to help you determine if it's an equation or if it's an inequality. So let's go over some examples. In example 1, we're going to talk about equations. So we're going to be writing equations to represent the phrase or story. Number 1, 5 more than a number, x is 18. Well, here, 5 more than a number would be x plus 5. Is a key word for equals. So that's going to be x plus 5 equals 18. And that's all you have to do for that one. Okay, and number 2, it says Jake started with x marbles, found 8 more, and now has a total of 25 marbles. Well, if I had x and found 8 more, that means I'm adding 8 to that, so it's going to be x plus 8, and has a total equals 25. Okay, and number 3, a number x divided by 9 is 54. So x divided by 9 is 54. And again, I like my division to be as fractions and not the division symbol. Okay, so that's how you write an equation. Okay, let's write an inequality, and let's look at those differences. All right, in example 2, write an inequality to represent each phrase or story. Water boils at 212 degrees. Write an inequality for a temperature less than the boiling point. Okay, so in this case, we want it to be less than, so the temperature, x, that's going to represent all my temperatures, and you can use any variable you want, it doesn't tell you, has to be less than 212. Okay, now I know some of you like to write it the other way, as in 212 is greater than x, so you could write it that way also. Okay, number 2, 9 less than the number x is at least 18. So 9 less than the number x, that would be x minus 9, is at least, that means it has to be more than, but can equal 18, so greater than or equal to 18. Number 3, 5 times the number x is fewer than 20. 5 times the number x, 5x, is fewer than, less than 20. Okay, does not say it can equal 20, so I just put less than 20. Alright, so that's the examples. After you have the examples written down, then you can go on to the guided practice. If you need to pause real quick, do that right now, and then press play when you are ready to move on to the guided practice. Okay, let's move on to the guided practice. In the guided practice, here's the answers that you should have gotten. Okay, first, write an equation or inequality. So in this, I have them mixed up. In the first one, it says 7 divided by x, 7 divided by x is, that's my equal sign, 16. In number 2, it says 2 more than x, x plus 2, is more than 7. Now, how can I tell the difference between this more than and this more than? The same words. How do I know one is a plus sign and one is an inequality symbol? Well, this says 2 more than x. The other one has a key word here, is. And you know when we talk about equations, I said is a key word for equals? Well, if I say is more than, then that's going to let us know that it's an inequality. So that's the difference between that more than and that more than. Okay, in number 3, we have 9 times x. 9x is 145, so equals 145. And here we have 4 less than x. Remember, I have to switch the order when it has the word than in there. That's why it's x minus 4. And then it should be is at most, that means less than or equal to 17. Okay? If you need to go back and rewatch anything, go ahead. Otherwise, have a great rest of the day.